important. So, your foundational stuff, okay? I'm going to leave it as that for now. Let's talk about step number 2 in your business. And this is going to be on top of the foundational stuff we've been talking about up to this point, right? First skill is you need to learn how to get traffic to your website, right? Because the website is given to you. Empower Network, your blogging, whatever, right? It's there. You don't have to, mess around with technology. So the first skill that we need to master, everybody, is how do I get traffic? How do I get people to see my website right over here? How do I get 50 people to see my site today? Every morning when you wake up, how do I get 50 people to see my site today? Okay? Second skill is how do I convert those people into customers? Okay? And third skill is how do I communicate with my customers so they buy all the products, and how do I communicate in a way so that I build community around what I'm doing? Okay? Every single dollar is going to come from people. Every single dollar that we earn is going to come from somebody's pocket. Okay? And we do that by obviously selling products that is of a greater value than the money that we get paid for. Okay? So these are the 3 essential basic fundamental skills when it comes to building a business. And if you master those 3 skills and you do this fundamentals, foundational stuff over here, guys, you can create freedom in your business, you can create freedom in your life. So let's talk about how do you get traffic. You want to talk about that? Okay? Here's how you get traffic, and I got 7 minutes left here. So here's how to get traffic. When it comes to traffic, folks, if I told you, go to xyzcompany.com, go to this vendor and get traffic there, 6,000 of you would go there, and it's not going to work. The best advice I can tell you as an entrepreneur is dig your own well. Dig your own well so you have your own fresh water to drink out of. Okay? How do you do that? Question, right? How do you do that? Because if you build your own well, my friend, you don't have to depend on anybody. You don't have to depend on your sponsor. You don't have to depend on the company. You can create money. You can print money, quote unquote, right? And you can decide how much money you want to make, and you can do it. How did I get to where I'm at today? How did I get this ring, folks? Anybody can do this if you master those 3 things, the 3 skill sets and foundational stuff. Foundational stuff never ever go away. That's daily stuff. That's daily stuff. And if you just if you focus on the 3, skill sets and you omit the foundations on a daily basis, guess what? The 3 things you're focusing on, the skill sets, is going to be like building your empire, and no foundation is going to collapse. Every time you try something, it's going to collapse. Every time you try something, it's going to collapse. And you're going to say, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything they're telling me to do. I'm blogging, I'm this and this. But you know what? It's weird. You can have 2 people doing this exact same thing side by side, and one guy can be successful, one guy can be failing. And you couldn't tell the difference in their marketing. They're doing the exact same thing, selling the same product. Why? This is why. One guy's doing the foundational stuff. He's reading, he's listening, he's putting good stuff in, right? To have good stuff, showing his results. That's the difference, folks. So how do you dig your own well for traffic? Good question. So here's how. I'll give you guys a couple of resources. And to be honest with you, this is the kind of stuff that I usually reserve for people who who pay like $20,000 to coach with me, So the easiest thing you can do, right, is just simple. A lot of times we look for complicated stuff, but we don't see the simple stuff, the basic stuff that's right in front of our eyes, right in front of our nose, right? Here's what you guys can start tonight, right? The very, very basic thing that you can do is just go to Google, just say, how do I get traffic to my website? Here's something else. You go to sites like weather.com, CNN.com, MSNBC.com, just any big, gigantic sites, right? And you scroll all the way down, and there's going to be an advertise link at the bottom of that site, right? You click there, it's going to take you to vendors or the networks, advertising agencies that allow advertisers to place ads on that site, okay? Banners, email promotions, and stuff like that. You contact that agency and you say, hey, I'm promoting this, and I'd like to use you to get traffic, okay? what would you recommend? My budget is $500 or $50 or $5,000. What would you recommend I do? What kind of packages do you have for me? If those big networks, they're servicing, advertisement spots on sites like CNN and weather.com and so forth, right? And you guys all see like weight loss products and make money products and stuff like that because this is so generic, right? Everybody wants to make money, right? And especially right now with the new system they're coming out, I mean, everybody would need this, right? And we can just sell it as a product. So you go to these networks and you talk to them, and they'll tell you. They say, hey, we have these, list of 50 or 70 sites you can go to. And then, you buy some ads. That's how you dig your own well, right? You test it. You see what's working. You keep what's working, and what's not working, you drop it, okay? But see, what you do as an entrepreneur is you have this mentality that I'm a leader. I don't have to depend on anybody else. And I will be a little bit creative, right, to get that. And you will discover your own sources, and you won't have to rely on anybody else. And then what you can do is you can, as you build in your group of people, you can share and you can teach what's working for you. But you never teach from theory. You teach from experience, you see. Is this making sense, guys? Okay. Now, I'll give you a couple other sites that you can this is a little bit more advanced now. You can go to a site like, whatrunswhere.com or like compete.com. These are paid services, but what that allows me to do is, you can put any website in the search, and it's going to tell you where their traffic is coming from. So you can put, CNN.com, and it's going to tell you where their traffic is coming from. You can go to like ClickBank, right, and take a look at the marketplace and see what the top products are, right? And you want to know how come they're at the top. You want to know where they get their traffic at, where they advertise. So you go to like e-learning category in ClickBank, and you want to see, because those products are very similar in the same niche as ours, right? And so you put that URL in there, and it's going to tell you where they get their traffic from. And you have a list of 200, 300 sites. Boom, boom, boom. You contact them and see what packages they have. Make sense? Yeah. So. And so what you do is you dig your own well and you master this first skill set, which is traffic generation. Okay, guys? And if you just go to Google and just Google it, I mean, guys, we don't lack resources. It's all out there, right? But we sometimes just have to be a little bit more creative, and we just have to kind of step back, right, and take a look at what's out there and just think, I like to simplify everything. I'm like, well, if there's a site and they have banners on the site, and the site looks like I can advertise on, how can I get my banner on that site? Well, again, there's an advertise link at the bottom of the site. Click, boom, you got it, okay? Make sense? Okay, cool. Skill set number 2 is conversions, yeah? Conversions, friends, is gonna come down to, a lot of it is gonna come down to you, okay? So, how do you, and conversions and communication is gonna go hand in hand. Now, your conversions are gonna be, taken care of a lot of times by the system. Okay, Empower Network has a system in place. They got the sales process taken care of pretty much, right? But not everybody is going to buy as they go through that funnel for the first time, right? So your conversions and your communication is going to go hand in hand. These are two skills that kind of go hand in hand, all right? So you're sending traffic through your landing page. You have your list, right? People who opt into your landing page, they go through the through the sales video. 5% or 7% or however many will buy, right? But 95% won't. How do you communicate to those 95%ers to get them to buy? Because they're on your list, and you monetize your list, right? And so how you do that is, first of all, it goes back a lot of it to the foundational stuff. Okay, folks, you communicate to your people not from the perspective of just get this because you need it, get this. You communicate to them based on their vision, okay? What they want on a deeper level for themselves and their families and their businesses, okay? So for example, if you're selling a blogging system, it's not a blogging system that they need. It's not. We think they want a blogging system, right? But it's, what is this system going to do for them? Okay, if you're talking to a chiropractor, right? And you're talking about this version 2.0 blogging platform, right? You're not going to say, hey, you need to get this blogging platform for your practice. He doesn't need it. He doesn't think he needs it, right? But what if you just talk to him and say, hey, this is going to help you build your business, right, by using this and get more exposure. Does that make sense? So you talk to your customers based on what their bigger vision is and really what they want on a deeper level.